Hey everybody, it's Andrew Ains with Golf Academy. As always, a very warm welcome. So here's the question that I put in the title. Why don't more golfers use higher lofted hybrids? I think most of you golfers out there will probably be carrying a 3 hybrid, a 4 hybrid, maybe a 5, but maybe not so many, I'm guessing. But why don't more golfers carry like 6 and 7 hybrids to replace those mid-irons? That's the question. I'm going to try and answer those questions for you coming up. Stay tuned. So let's see if we can answer this question. Why do more golfers not use lofted hybrids? I think a lot of it's to do with image. I think there's a presumption that if you're using like a 6 hybrid or a 7 hybrid, that you're not a very good golfer. That's what a lot of people think. They think, I'm a good golfer, I should just be using normal irons. But I think we're missing a trick here. So why are male golfers not using more hybrids? Let's tell you what I've got here. I've got a Ping G410 number 5 hybrid, which has a set loft of 26 degrees but is adjustable. And I've adjusted this loft up to 27.5 degrees. Which is a comparative loft these days to some of these cranked 7-irons that we get. If you look at a Cobra SZ from last year, that was 27.5 degrees. If you look at Callaway Mavericks or TaylorMade Sims, whatever, their 7-iron loft is often down around about 27.8 degrees. So it's comparative to a modern cranked 7-iron. I've got this in an odd setup. It's a demo club of mine. I've only got it in a graphite shaft in a soft regular, which on paper is probably a little bit light, a little bit whippy for me, but it seems to be working just fine. It's standard length, and what I've done is I've just set a green here at about 170 yards, and we're going to hit a few and see what we get. So I was having a little play around earlier in testing, seeing if this would be a good idea for a video. And by the way, I hit that right off the toe, and this is one of the first points that I will come to, is that I think the mishit with a hybrid performs so well. I literally hit that sort of, don't use an impression on the face, but I caught that way up in the toe. You can see it started off to the right, drew back in a little bit, and I've managed there for a pretty lousy strike to get myself a 156 carry with a predicted run out round about 170. Now, one of the arguments against using hybrids that a lot of people tell me when they come for fittings or whatever is that a lot of golfers tend to overdraw or hook a hybrid. Now, admittedly, some hybrids do sit a little bit closed, but this is where Ping's quite clever. They do have a setting in here where you can set the club up a little bit flatter to kind of offset the chance of the ball going too much right to left. So that was a poor strike to start with. Let's see if we can improve on things. Looking down at it, as we'd expect, there's plenty of loft available. That was a much, much better strike. That came right out the middle of the club. Now watch how this ball reacts on the green. You see that? I mean, I have set the greens to soft here, so the ball will stop. But it came in with a beautiful high flight. Let's get you some numbers. Strike was, I've got GC2 HMT here giving me strike location. Hit it bang out the middle. I've got a club speed there of 90 miles an hour. There's a whole video coming up on the back of this, isn't there? Remember, this is a soft, regular shaft. This should suit the club speed more around about 70 miles an hour, and I've just swung that at 90, and I've managed to hit it straight. So there's more to come on that. Numbers-wise, we've got a 171 carry. I've got an all-important backspin rate there of 5,700. We've got a launch angle of just under 19 degrees. It just felt great. I use a set at the moment, a set of Ping S56 irons, And for me to get that sort of carry distance, I'd probably be hitting my 6 iron. That's probably a comparative sort of loft or distance equivalent. Don't get me wrong, I quite like hitting my 6 iron, but you know, this just feels easy. Famous last words. Now that did come out the toe, and I've turned that one over, and that was more, as we call it, operator error, i.e. me rather than the club there. One more. Again, not a particularly good strike, but look at the result. Straight into the heart of the green, high ball flight, stop pretty quickly. Easy as that, isn't it? So it's food for thought, isn't it? Regardless of your handicap, would you consider putting in a 5, a 6 and a 7 hybrid club, taking out your irons? Be very interested to watch your comments and see what the answer to that question is. One of the other benefits of carrying a couple more hybrid clubs, higher lofted ones, and not a lot of people, it's like Michael Caine here, don't know, not a lot of people know this, is that they're brilliant clubs for playing little chip shots around the green. You see the pros using it all the time. Get down the grip, use your putting grip if you like. Just going to do a very simple putting stroke, and I'm just going to use the loft of the club just to pop that ball up in the air. Brilliant when you're on those slightly spongy lies around the green where the ball's sitting down a little bit in the sort of the first cut, and you just want to pop the ball out. Great this time of year where the ground's soft over here in the UK. Scares me to death trying to play a little chip shot off one of those tight muddy lies. Get a lofted hybrid, use it like a putter, bump it forwards. Brilliant. So very versatile clubs, and with the adjustability that we have on the majority of hybrids these days, from a fitting perspective, we can get these set up so they get the right gaps. And it's a well-known fact that the corresponding hybrid, say a 6 hybrid, will tend to go further than a 6 iron because the ball's coming off the face faster. So this is why faster off the hybrid than it does off the iron, because of the hollow construction and the face materials. So this is why when we're trying to match sets together, we do have to increase the loft of the hybrid so that we don't get the big gaps between the irons. So think about this as a way forward. You might go 3 hybrid, 4 hybrid, 5 hybrid, 6 hybrid, and your longest iron might be a 7 iron, and just go 7, 8, 9 wedge, sound wedge, lob wedge, whatever. I've done that for a lot of people last year in a fitting set, and you know, a couple were slightly hesitant to start with, but they've come back and said, wish I'd done it years ago. Anyway, before I babble on for much longer, I would like to leave that with you. Lofted hybrids. Should you be using them? Post comments down below. If you're new to the channel, do me a huge favour. Click on that subscribe button. That would help tremendously. And while you're down there, give it a little thumbs up if you think it's worthy of that. Thanks a lot. Bye for now. See you soon.